In life, progress is something that we all desire, but it's often elusive. Every day presents us with obstacles, distractions, and challenges that make it feel like we're not moving forward. But the truth is, every day is an opportunity for progress. The question is, are you seizing it? Jim Rohn once said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." This is the foundation for making progress every day, no matter what. It's not about having huge breakthroughs every single day. It's about making small, consistent strides forward that build up over time to create massive change. So, how do we make progress every day? The first step is commitment. You must be committed to your growth. Whether it's personal development, career advancement, or your health, you must choose to dedicate time to making progress. Jim Rohn emphasized that you must be willing to pay the price for success. This means setting your priorities straight and committing yourself to them daily, no matter what challenges come your way. Commitment means developing habits that will ensure progress. It's about taking consistent action toward your goals. Small actions, like reading a book, making a call, or writing down your goals, may seem insignificant at the time, but over the long term, they compound. This compounding effect is what leads to extraordinary results. The key is to make these actions habitual, to make them a part of your daily routine. One of the key aspects of making progress every day is time management. If you want to see progress in any area of your life, you must use your time wisely. Jim Rohn said, "Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time." This highlights the importance of using every moment of your day wisely. Time management is a skill that successful people cultivate because they understand the value of each passing minute. To make progress every day, you need to focus on your most important tasks and eliminate distractions. One way to do this is by setting clear goals. What do you want to achieve by the end of the week, the month, the year? Break down those long-term goals into smaller, manageable tasks that can be tackled every day. It's easy to get overwhelmed when you think of everything you need to do, but by taking small steps every day, you'll find that progress becomes more manageable. Another aspect of making progress every day is learning. Every day is a new opportunity to learn something new. Whether it's a new skill, a new idea, or a new way of thinking, continual learning is the key to growing and making progress. Jim Rohn emphasized that, your income is determined by your philosophy, and your philosophy is determined by your daily habits. This philosophy can be shaped by the knowledge you acquire on a daily basis. We live in a world where information is readily available. Books, podcasts, seminars, online courses, these are all resources that can help you make progress every day. It doesn't matter if you're learning something small or something large, the key is to commit to learning every day. It's the daily investment in your mind that pays dividends over time. Progress also requires perseverance. There will be days when things don't go as planned, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, and when you feel like giving up. But this is where perseverance comes in. It's about pushing through the tough times, even when it seems like progress is slow. Jim Rohn famously said, "Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better." This is the mindset you need to adopt to make progress every day. You'll encounter setbacks, mistakes, and failures along the way. But those who make progress are the ones who don't give up after the first failure. They use those failures as lessons, as stepping stones toward success. Remember, success is not a straight line. It's a series of highs and lows. What matters is your ability to keep going, to keep improving, and to keep taking action, even when things get tough. Another important aspect of making progress every day is self-discipline. Without self-discipline, all the goals and plans you make will remain just that, plans. Jim Rohn taught that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without it, you won't follow through on the actions required to make progress. Self-discipline means doing the things you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing them. It's about making the right choices, even when the easy choice is to give up. Whether it's waking up early, exercising, or sticking to a healthy diet, self-discipline is the force that moves you toward progress every day. In summary, making progress every day is not about giant leaps forward. It's about committing to your goals, managing your time effectively, learning continuously, persevering through challenges, and practicing self-discipline. If you can focus on making small progress every day, eventually, you look back and realize how far you've come. The key to progress is consistency. By showing up every day, by making the most of every opportunity, and by dedicating yourself to your personal growth, you will make progress no matter what. So, as you move forward today, ask yourself, what can I do today that will move me closer to my goals? Then, take that small step forward. As we continue to explore how to make progress every day, no matter what, we must recognize that the journey is not always smooth. The second part of progress is not just about planning, action, and discipline, it is also about mindset, how we approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities in life. Jim Rohn often spoke about the importance of having the right mindset for success. He believed that your mindset is the key to transforming your life. The major key to your better future is you, he said. This means that progress begins in the mind. You must have a growth-oriented mindset, one that views challenges as opportunities to learn rather than as obstacles. If you approach life with a negative, fixed mindset, you will find it difficult to make meaningful progress. On the other hand, a growth mindset opens the door to progress. It encourages you to embrace new ideas, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. When you embrace challenges as a natural part of growth, you start seeing them differently. Every setback becomes a learning experience. Every failure is a stepping stone toward success. To develop this mindset, it's important to focus on the process rather than the outcome. We often think about progress in terms of the results we want to achieve, but Jim Rohn taught us that results come from the right actions, habits, and attitudes. He said, success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. This means that your progress should not be about how fast you can reach your goal, but rather about the kind of person you are becoming along the way. To illustrate this, think of a person who is trying to lose weight. If they focus only on the number on the scale, they may become discouraged when they don't see immediate results. However, if they focus on building healthy habits, exercising consistently, and making better food choices every day, the results will come. The progress lies in the small daily steps they take, which will eventually lead to significant change. Similarly, in business or career development, you must focus on developing skills, building relationships, and improving your performance every day. The results will naturally follow when you focus on the process of improvement. Now, let's talk about taking ownership of your life. One of the most powerful lessons Jim Rohn taught us was that we are responsible for our own success. He said, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. This means that no matter where you are today, you have the power to create your future through the choices you make today. Taking ownership of your life means understanding that you are the one in control. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You have the ability to make decisions that will move you toward progress. It's about taking full responsibility for your actions, your habits, and your results. When you take ownership of your life, you stop blaming others for your failures and start taking proactive steps toward success. You stop waiting for the right time and instead create the right time through your daily actions. The power to make progress is always within you, and when you take responsibility, you start seeing the progress you've been working for. Another essential factor in making progress is embracing failure. Jim Rohn frequently spoke about how failure is a natural part of success. He encouraged us to not be afraid of failure, but to learn from it and use it to fuel our progress. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action, he advised. Failure is often seen as a negative experience, but it is an inevitable part of life. No one achieves success without first experiencing failure. The key is not to avoid failure but to use failure as a learning opportunity. Every time you fail, you learn something new about yourself, your approach, and your goals. This knowledge is invaluable because it helps you avoid making the same mistakes in the future. It builds resilience, perseverance, and confidence, traits that are essential for making progress every day. Another important aspect of making progress is surrounding yourself with the right people. Jim Rohn often said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This is a crucial piece of the progress puzzle. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset, habits, and success. If you want to make progress, you need to be around people who are positive, driven, and focused on growth. You need people who inspire you to be better, who push you to take action, and who hold you accountable. On the other hand, negative, complacent, or toxic individuals can drag you down and derail your progress. Take a look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they encouraging your growth, or are they limiting your potential? To make progress every day, you must choose to spend your time with people who uplift and inspire you, not those who hold you back. Now, let's turn our attention to managing your energy. One of the things that can prevent you from making progress every day is burnout. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to push yourself too hard, and to overextend yourself. But if you don't manage your energy, you will quickly run out of steam, and your progress will stall. Jim Rohn taught us that it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. This means you need to prioritize self-care, rest, and balance in your life. You need to be mindful of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Take time to recharge. When you take care of yourself, you will have the energy and focus to make progress every day. To maintain your energy, make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and engaging in activities that rejuvenate you. Whether it's exercise, meditation, or simply spending time with loved ones, taking care of your well-being will ensure that you have the stamina to stay committed to your goals. Finally, let's talk about celebrating small wins. In the pursuit of progress, it's easy to overlook the small victories. But Jim Rohn reminded us that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progress isn't always about giant leaps forward, it's often about the small steps you take every day. And it's important to acknowledge and celebrate those small wins along the way. When you celebrate small wins, you reinforce positive habits and keep yourself motivated. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, it brings you closer to your ultimate goal. Recognizing and celebrating these victories keeps you energized and focused on your next step toward progress. In conclusion, making progress every day is not a one-time effort, it is a daily commitment to the process. It's about having the right mindset, taking ownership of your life, embracing failure, surrounding yourself with the right people, managing your energy, and celebrating small wins. These are the elements that will help you make consistent progress every day, no matter what challenges come your way. So, as you continue your journey toward success, remember, progress is a result of the daily decisions you make. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and staying committed to your personal growth. No matter where you start, with consistency and determination, you will see the progress you seek. No matter what, we must delve into the core values that create lasting change. Progress isn't just about the actions you take on the outside, it's also about how you develop internally. As Jim Rohn often emphasized, success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. This means that real and lasting progress comes from becoming a better version of yourself, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The third and final piece of the puzzle is about mastering self-discipline and embracing delayed gratification. Self-discipline is the foundation upon which every great achievement is built. It's the ability to do what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the hard things now for the sake of your future. This principle of delayed gratification is something Jim Rohn spoke about frequently. He taught us that success requires sacrifice, and that those who master self-discipline will ultimately reap the greatest rewards. The journey to progress demands sacrifices, whether it's skipping a night out with friends to focus on your goals, choosing to study for an extra hour, or avoiding temptations that derail your focus. Sacrifice isn't always easy, but the rewards are far greater than the short-term pleasures we often seek. The progress you're striving for will require moments of discomfort, but if you stay disciplined, the payoff is worth it. Self-discipline also involves building positive habits that compound over time. Every small decision you make daily, whether it's reading a book, exercising, planning your day, or setting new goals, will gradually lead you to bigger successes. These habits accumulate, and as they do, they produce more significant outcomes than any one action. The key is to keep taking small steps, even on the days when you feel tired or unmotivated. Consistency is key. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and doing your best, regardless of the obstacles that come your way. Progress doesn't happen overnight, but it happens consistently. Those who fail to show up, even for a few days, often find themselves falling behind. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. But as Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. When you focus on improving yourself daily, even in small ways, you'll eventually look back and realize how far you've come. Another critical element in this journey of progress is the power of reflection. Jim Rohn believed that to progress, we must take time to reflect on our actions and growth. Reflection is the process of evaluating your life and your decisions, learning from your experiences, and adjusting your approach as needed. Without reflection, you may find yourself repeating the same mistakes or falling into old patterns that hinder your progress. By taking time to review your goals, actions, and results, you can identify areas for improvement and fine-tune your strategies. This allows you to make adjustments and stay on track toward your long-term vision. Reflection also helps you appreciate the progress you've made, no matter how small. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of the next goal and forget to acknowledge how far you've come. Reflection gives you the opportunity to celebrate your wins and learn from your setbacks. This keeps you grounded and motivated to keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about embracing challenges. As you continue to make progress every day, you'll inevitably encounter setbacks and challenges. Jim Rohn was a firm believer that challenges are not something to be feared, they are opportunities to grow. When you face a challenge, it's often an indication that you are pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, which is where growth occurs. Don't wish for fewer problems, wish for more skills, Rohn often said. This mindset shift is powerful because it turns challenges from roadblocks into stepping stones. The way you view obstacles is crucial to your success. If you see them as something to avoid, you will never push yourself to reach your full potential. But if you approach them as opportunities to improve your skills, expand your mindset, and build resilience, you will not only overcome the challenges, but you will also become stronger and more capable as a result. Each challenge is a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. Growth comes from the discomfort of facing challenges head-on. When you approach challenges with an open mind and a willingness to learn, you expand your capabilities. In fact, the greatest accomplishments in history came from people who were willing to face adversity head-on. Think about the struggles and setbacks that successful people have faced throughout history. They didn't give up when things got tough. They kept going, learning, and adapting. And this is precisely what you must do too. Furthermore, taking responsibility for your life is essential in making consistent progress. Jim Rohn often reminded us that the results we experience are the sum of the choices we make. If you are unhappy with where you are in life, it's time to take ownership of your situation and make a change. The power to create progress lies within you. No one can change your circumstances except you. You must stop blaming external factors and take full responsibility for your decisions and actions. Once you accept full responsibility, you gain the power to change your life. It's empowering because it means you are in control of your destiny. Your future is not dependent on circumstances, it depends on the actions you take today. When you are responsible for your actions, you can make deliberate choices that move you closer to your goals. Lastly, let's discuss gratitude. As you work toward making progress every day, it's important to be grateful for the opportunities you have and the progress you've already made. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. It helps you appreciate the small wins, the lessons learned, and the people who support you along the way. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you open yourself up to even more opportunities for growth and success. Jim Rohn was a firm believer in the power of gratitude. He often said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others." Being thankful for the present moment allows you to fully engage in the process of progress. It grounds you, keeps you focused on what truly matters, and attracts more positivity into your life. In conclusion, making progress every day is about having the right mindset, taking responsibility, embracing challenges, being disciplined, and reflecting on your journey. The secret to success lies in consistently showing up, taking action, and choosing to grow every day. Progress is not about immediate results, it's about the small steps you take and the person you become along the way. So, commit to making progress every day, and remember, it's the small, consistent efforts that lead to big, life-changing results.